I mentioned before that I've been having some prodromal labor, and it was just a little bit too early and too intense for my liking. So I have been pulling back in life everywhere, like every aspect of our life right now, we've really pulled back. However, this last week home with my kids was the hardest that it has been that I remember. Let's just say that much. It was very difficult, and I actually had like a fear inside of me for this next coming week. Every time I've had to like repeat myself for my kids, kind of get on to them for stuff. We have a farm, so there is yelling that takes place, like, hey, stop, you know what I mean? They're far away. Every time I do those things, my prodromal labor is just more intense, and it's wearing me out, and I'm having to sit down and stop doing things in between activities. So I have been trying to listen to my body. However, being a solo parent, I don't really know what that looks like during the week to rest, but also take care of 3 very active little children. So I have been praying about this and praying about this. Now, anytime that I have posted about how I did not get an ultrasound and don't plan on getting one, people freak out and comment the most nasty things they can comment. That's okay. Well, it's not okay, but I understand that when people are scared, hurt, or angry, they say not the right things. So it makes sense. It's okay. One of the things that caught my eye, because this always catches my eye, and I think it always ought to if you ever hear this, is the parable of the man on the roof. The man on the roof during a flood, everything's flooding. He's like, God, please, and a boat comes by to pick him up, and he's like, no, God's gonna save me. And so the boat leaves. Then they send a helicopter, and he's like, no, God's gonna save me. And then he leaves, and then he sends another boat or something like that, and he's like, no. And then he gets to heaven, and he's like, God, why didn't you save me? And God's like, I sent you 2 boats and a helicopter. Why didn't you get on any of them? So every time I hear this parable, I always really truly want to like weigh it on my heart, pray about it, and ask God, are you trying to tell me something here? So someone commented on my ultrasound thing about that parable, and I was like, okay, God, what are you saying to me? Are you saying something to me? Prayed about it, didn't hear anything about an ultrasound, like still no cause for concern there. So this was confusing. I just kind of set it to the side. However, at church yesterday, our pastor said the same parable. So as he was saying this parable of the man on the roof, I just started praying, and I was like, God, what are you trying to tell me? I don't see the boat. I don't see the helicopter. I'll get on it if I see it. I don't see it. What is it? And so I came home. My husband and I were talking about what our weeks look like, and I think I finally just was able to say, I don't know how to do it. I'm scared. I don't know what it looks like. Before this conversation, though, my husband had actually already made plans to take the kids and I out to work with him. And I didn't know this. I already had stuff planned here, so I didn't think that it was going to work to go out. And I was basically on the verge of tears, just praying, God, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? And my husband was speaking. I actually have no idea what he was saying or what he said or what he was even talking about, but it kind of had to do with what we were talking about. In my husband's voice, I heard God speak to me, and he said, this is the boat. And I was like, okay, this is the boat. So my husband made plans for us to go out and be with him this week. We'll get our camper next week and be able to go out as a family, but we will go out until I hit 36 weeks. So I am putting myself on bed rest. It'll be nice to be with my husband. The kids will just enjoy being out there with him and getting to see him every day again. And we'll be able to really cut back and take it easy and get the rest that I'm supposed to be taking right now. So it's very exciting to finally feel like I heard from him. It's very confusing to try to navigate bed rest, and especially with 3 little kids. So yeah, all of the prayers are accepted and appreciated. So right now we will just be doing the absolute bare minimum until I hit 36 weeks, and then from there we'll see. I'm currently 30 weeks right now, so you do the math.